Hello and welcome to the Geek Remix podcast, episode
17.
17.
We never know.
Yeah, we never know what episode we're on. So thanks for continuing to watch, even though we don't know what's going on.
We have no idea.
My name is Stacy.
And I am Mari. And this week in gaming, I will start off with the good news that Hearthstone is out. And also, Stacy and I don't give a shit.
It's true.
Who cares about Hearthstone?
Congratulations to everybody who likes Hearthstone. We know you're very excited, but neither of us play it.
I don't know. Like, I watch videos and I'm just sitting there being like, I don't get it. Why is this fun to you? I mean, I get that it looks like a really solid card game. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I'm like, cool. We could play Skip-Bo if you want. Like,
now, I've been trying to figure this out earlier. Can you actually earn money, like real money from Hearthstone? You can't, right?
You spend real money.
Yes, you spend real money, but you can't earn it back. You can only earn like more cards and shit.
Yeah. But
see, that seems silly to me.
I mean, it's a free-to-play game, and I think it's optional to, like, actually buy things, but it makes it easier. It isn't pay to win, it's just pay to... I don't know, people seem to like it, I don't know. But everyone complains about this free-to-play system, and then they're like, oh, League of Legends is pretty great. Like, okay, whatever.
So I actually play a couple mobile games that are free to play, but they have in-app purchases.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that I feel like I've been lucky because like the ones that I've played some where they have in-app purchases and they don't do it well. Like you can play for like 3 tries and then you have to pay like 99 cents to keep playing it. Like, but you have to do that over and over and over, which is stupid. Either that or you can like wait, 24 hours and it recharges for you. That's dumb, in my opinion. The ones that I play, if you make an in-app purchase, it basically doesn't affect your gameplay. Like you can do the same things like an in-app purchase. I'm just going to tell you what it is. You own a little restaurant and you have to like serve food to people and like you have...
Stacey, are you a casual gamer?
But it's easy to carry those around on my phone and just like
I play those games too. It doesn't mean anything. It's normal.
Anyways, but like the things that you can pay for would be to like make it so that you have like more appliances or to like decorate your restaurant with like cooler stuff, but it doesn't actually affect your gameplay at all. Like it doesn't make it easier to play.
Yeah, you do it to support the developers, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I see no problem with that because people saying, like, oh, but it's so hard to earn the gems, like, and you make me pay money for gems. It's like, have you actually played the game? Because it's not hard to play it without gems.
Well, now we sound like assholes because we haven't played Hearthstone. We're like, yeah, we never played it, but it looks stupid. But have you played this game? Because you don't know.
But have you played this game called Restaurant Story? It's so fun.
Oh, speaking of, free-to-play systems.
Yeah.
With the Luminox system, you said you hate having to wait. Luminox system.
That game that I mispronounced when I introduced them, yeah.
We were both, and they didn't correct us, so that's on them.
They're very kind to not correct us on that.
Yeah. They have that system where you play for like 45 minutes, and then they're like, all right, here's an instant recharge. But it's basically their game is a very elaborate demo.
Yeah, that was what they were saying they were going to do when they launch it. And I think that the way they've set it up, the way it's like kind of like a demo first, like that's different because it doesn't give you the
you have to pay in order to proceed in the game.
But you pay once.
No, I'm saying you don't have to pay in order to proceed. You pay one time. It's not microtransactions. You're just actually buying the game instead of
exactly
it's just a... And then they said you could play the whole game without ever paying for it. And then it's just one time you buy it. Which I think, since they're getting rid of the microtransactions, plural, that could definitely work. And that's something that... And this isn't us just saying, like, we're trying to, like, jerk them off, like, oh, they're so great because they're on a podcast. Like, I was about to tell them that they were stupid in the podcast because I didn't understand.
Well, because you didn't really understand what they were saying, I don't think.
I know, but I'm just letting people know that, like, I was about to tell them from the assumption I was making about them that they were stupid. So, if I thought it was stupid, I would say it, so.
Yeah. I think... But one of the things that we told them was that you have to be very clear that it's not microtransactions. That's like, because people might assume that you have to make sure they know, like, hey, this is a one-time purchase. Like, you buy it and it's yours.
I know. People are gonna, yeah. But, anyway, back to Hearthstone, I guess.
What are we going to talk about with Hearthstone? We don't play it.
I just wanted to say it was out and then talk shit about it. Hearthstone's out.
Sorry for pissing off the majority of our audience. Let's move on.
Never played it. It's dumb. Whatever.
Yeah. We've never played it, but it's dumb. Yeah.
On to more of a downer news, but I
can't wait to read the comments on this video, by the way, after us saying that.
Hearthstone's great. You don't know anything, you dumb casual bitches.
Casual gamer jerks.
On to more serious news that, we're not going to get too much into it, but I think it's important for us to cover is that a professional League of Legends player tried to commit suicide by jumping out of a 12-story window. He survived, and he was in a coma, and he's now currently starting to wake up. But in his suicide letter, he talked about how he was being abused and how his coach was physically hitting him and how some places, sometimes the games are rigged and he and other players were told to throw their games in order to get money overall. So, I mean, it's exposing a lot of the
seedy underbelly.
Yeah, of esports. It's kind of sad, but I thought it was important to cover. His name is League of Legends Scandal.
Did you find it?
I'm looking at the thread, but you know how people's names are like crazy, so you never know which ones are like the names?
Yeah. Well, in any case, it's certainly awful to hear about, and
I'll give a link to all of the information and stuff in the description because, it's way too much information for us to cover here, but I thought it was important to show that there are people out there in esports who are working their butts off and being treated not well, and that really sucks for him, and our hearts go out to him and hope the best for him. So.
Yeah, that's awful. Nobody should ever, feel that they have to commit suicide to, I don't know. That's just awful.
Yeah. So anyway, on to other news. Like
console crisis.
It's a crisis.
Yeah, so I sent Mari this I had found this article on TechCrunch that was saying, the console market is in crisis. And
I overreacted.
And Mari overreacted and poked like 1,000 holes in this article and kind of neglected to see that there were actually some legitimate points because she was so pissed about a couple.
I said, yes, the overall article was right, but the math was wrong.
Yes, but you said that like 6 tweets after you were like, okay, should I read your tweets?
Yeah.
So that everybody can see?
Call me out. Call me out. Okay. Just do it.
Crisis seems like a poor choice of words, but there is a trend. And then she, of course, clarified that it was not me, but it was the article.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, she's going to think that I think that she's the asshole. I don't think that I think the article's the asshole.
This article is not displaying facts well at all and are connecting events that are not related. Slanted face. This article has wrong data. They're off on console sales by about 1 million, all capitals, units. The PS4 is selling faster than any console in history. It sold more globally than any other console at launch. The article is technically right on a lot of points, but also has a lot of wrong data. Technically, TechCrunch is right, but they use the wrong data. Some of their data is off. They are correct, but they are using bad data that makes my math mind mad. By the way, this is all without me replying.
I was so mad.
Just a stream of tweets.
I'm going to show this on the podcast in a slow scroll because I'm being like, she needs to calm down.
I was like, relax. because they include estimates, but they clearly label them as estimates. And they tell you why they're estimates.
I was like, the Xbox didn't come out in 2006, it came out in 2005, and you don't know this, and your article's dumb. And then I was like, but they're right. They are right, but they're wrong, but they're right.
Okay. So what I had actually wanted to talk about was not necessarily the exact figures for all of the gaming consoles, because it would be unlikely that we'd be able to get those, since it's hard to get like exact sales numbers until you're much farther out. And when they like actually release sales figures, and they haven't done that for a lot of the consoles yet.
They've only been releasing it via tweets, so I don't know how reliable that is.
Yeah, and can you really trust a company to say, because they could sit there and be like, wow, we sold 3,000 units. What's that? We sold 30,000 units, Gary? That's great.
Tweet that.
Yeah, tweet that.
We sold like 2 million units.
We sold like 3 million units. It's awesome. It's like,
remember there was Xbox and PlayStation were kind of passive-aggressively tweeting each other because Xbox went, yeah, we sold more than PlayStation 4 this month, and the PlayStation 4 went,
no,
yeah, I mean, that's right, but we sold more globally overall since launch, and also, like, we're, like, out of stock. But, yeah, technically you're right.
Yeah, I guess you're right if you're looking at America. Like, okay, calm down, guys.
But the two of them tweeting at each other, like, smiley faces.
They're each making, like, smiley faces, like, sending little emoticons, like, hearts. One guy is doing that little, like, flipping over a table emoji. They start sumo wrestling. But I do think it is fair to say that consoles will continue to suffer as mobile gaming gains more steam.
That's true.
Because for every person that can't afford a console and is like, hey, but I already own a phone, so why would I get a console when I can, or like I have a tablet, And I mean, granted, those are most likely casual gamers.
Yeah.
More than hardcore gamers. But there's also a lot of people that are going to have a computer that they could game on, and most people are going to have a computer regardless. But a console is kind of, I mean, I guess they're not exclusively consoles anymore, like they can do other things. But what they're most likely to be used for is for gaming. Whereas a computer, you can also use it as a computer. You can game on it or use it as a computer. Tablet, you can use it for pretty much whatever you want. And a mobile phone is your phone. Everybody's going to have one of those.
I mean, consoles are trying to diversify their utility, but at the same time...
Did you know that girls should buy consoles because then we can watch television with them?
Yeah. Hey, girls, do you want to buy this console so you can watch TV? No.
Wait, what? No.
This is stupid because there was this commercial. Stacey, you saw it. It was like Xbox, turn on, like, the Kardashians or some woman show.
For fuck's sake.
It was like, and you could tell it was like trying to show this commercial to like girlfriends to be like, oh yeah, baby, you can get an Xbox because then I can watch TV on it.
Because then I can watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yay!
To be fair, they did have another commercial that was like in England or something where it was like the lady comes in, she's like, hey, turn off this bullshit. Let me play my video games. She like comes in and interrupts her boyfriend watching TV so she can play video games.
Why didn't we get that one in America?
Because, Stacey,
we're fucking awful.
Girls don't matter. Don't you know that 45% of gamers are women, but those that doesn't count because they are like Facebook gamers or something? I don't know. Ugh. Anyway, consoles are trying to diversify their usefulness. But I don't know, like, I really want consoles to still exist because that's just the thing.
I think they should absolutely still exist. I don't think I would hope that there is never
a time without them.
Yeah, I just like I can't picture how that would go away. What I could picture is companies pulling out of their console. You know what I mean?
That's what makes me scared because there have been companies that pulled out of their console, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Just make it good.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder, remember how last time we had the podcast, I was talking about that guy over at PlayStation that got fired? And it was because they were selling less hardware. So, although you're saying that they've sold everything that they have in stock, I think that there's something else there.
Yeah.
That isn't being reported. We can only
It could be their TVs. Their TVs have been suffering a lot. They've been struggling in the TV department, like, a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. That's why they're pushing 4K TVs, because everyone has an HD TV now, and everyone was like, I don't want a 3D TV because that hurts my eyes. So they're trying to push 4K. I don't know.
Have you've seen the curved TVs, right?
Yeah, you told me about them.
Yeah, those look fucking tits. They look so cool.
Speaking of tits, this really bothered me. It shouldn't bother me that much because it's so like...
That was a great segue. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but it was great.
You know what? Actually, I shouldn't just accept it because, things like this need to be said. But I worked my butt off for that thief Easter egg video, and I was like, yeah, I got the best... I got the best Easter eggs, got really cool ones, and then I type in thief Easter eggs, number one result, titties and thief Easter egg, and I was like...
Are you kidding me?
I was like, those titties are part of the main storyline. You literally have to look at the boobs to find a symbol. You literally have to look at titties to make the game progress. That's not an Easter egg. That's part of the game.
That's not an Easter egg at all.
Like, if you literally have to... They're like, look through this hole at titties and find the magic symbol.
Find the magic titties?
Yeah. And I was like, all right, looked at the titties, found the symbol, let's go on our way. And then I was like, didn't even occur to me I should have put titties in our Easter egg video.
You should have just had that be you probably couldn't have it be the screen cap, but...
No, but, in the end, we did win because more people were like, oh, there's actual Easter eggs in this video.
Oh, you mean it's not just things that I could find in the regular game?
I know. I was like, well, then also part of me, I was like, why didn't I record the titties?
We will, Mari, we will.
I should have known.
Speaking of thief, what, I forget who was talking about this today, but somebody was saying that they didn't know what people's issue was with thief.
I mean, I get what people's issues are with thief, but I don't care. I still like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just like different games. Sometimes shitty games are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
So what did they say about the thief?
No, I was wondering if you had heard anything about it, because I haven't.
Oh, I've been hearing a lot about how much people hate Thief.
So tell me about that.
So Yahtzee hates it. Basically, so our opinion on Thief, you should know, because we believe in giving context to our opinions. We, both of us, have never played any of the Thief games before. So this is our first...
I can see why that might make a difference.
Yeah, so this Thief is a reboot. The things that this Thief lack that the other Thieves did have is much more possibilities in the way that you can complete levels. Levels were much bigger, and they had a different way of just doing it, which people didn't like about this Thief is that it has a lot of AAA stuff in it, like cutscenes and smaller levels and stuff like that. So I'm sure if Stacy and I had played these games originally when we were younger, we would hate this game. But because this is our first experience with Garrett and the city and the ambiance, this is all new to us. So we don't know that we're idiots. So
I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be like if somebody only played like the last 10 minutes of Mass Effect.
And they were like, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, they'd be like, wow, this is a pretty cool game. Like, this is awesome. Like, the graphics are great. And you'd be sitting there like, but it's an awful ending to the story.
I know, right? So to us, like, this is our first experience. And it's like, Garrett, like, he's cool. I mean, the story's kind of shit, but the environments and the setting is pretty cool. So...
Also, for those of you who didn't see on Twitter, Mari posted a pretty cool Tumblr blog that had one person's imaginings on what Garrett might look, what hair,
and they were all sexy.
Yeah, what he might look like underneath the hood.
And I was like,
and they are all sexy, but just so you know, Mari's favorite looks like a male version of me.
Shut up! It doesn't, because your face is prettier.
Because my face is... What?
Your face is prettier. You don't look like a man.
No, I know. It's just the haircut. It's kind of similar.
And then Stacey pointed that out, and I was like, oh.
I know. But it made me feel weird, too, because I looked at that one, and I was like, oh, he looks great. And then I was like, shit.
Yeah, but that's
really
different.
Weird.
That's okay to want to, like, rule 63 yourself. So. I'm pretty sure that's, like, normal, isn't it?
Isn't that what, like, Cersei and Jaime Lannister were doing, pretty much?
Yeah, I feel like that's different because it's, like... I don't know. That's not as weird because it's yourself. You can't hurt yourself. You can't be weird with yourself. You can't be, like, looking at... Well, maybe you can. You're, like, weird. Look at yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, what's up? And be like, ugh.
Hey, if I was a dude, I'd look fucking great. Yep.
Look at this.
Yeah. Fucking awesome.
Oh.
So, but you guys should know that if you happen to see these pictures, one of them basically has my haircut. However, my face, according to Mari, is much prettier, so... Or is it?
It's much prettier. Garrett is handsome and Stacy is pretty.
Pretty.
There you go.
Thanks, Mari.
Cool thing that I have been looking into is there is a statistic that says that 45% of online gamers are women. And every time this stat is brought up, there are some
people
male
who
gamers.
Say it's like 40-year-old moms playing games on Facebook.
Yeah, so it's basically invalidating that female gamers exist in a real sense. And I mean in terms of what people consider hardcore gamers. But what is a hardcore gamer? So I decided to look at our YouTube's gender stats, and it basically ranges between 25 to 35%. So then I decided I'm going to go to a bunch of different forums where I know other YouTube creators exist, and ask, like, okay, can you give me your channel name, your gender, your channel stats, like how many views you get a month, and blah, 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 what kind of games you play, and what your gender demographic is. Mm-hmm. So far, this is purely like me just looking it over. Like, I haven't gotten everybody's responses yet, and I haven't been able to chance to really sit down and look at it. But so far, what I'm seeing is that male Let's Players and reviewers have a female audience between... One guy had 0, but I think that might have been weird. Between, like...
Maybe he just has a low viewer overall.
Yeah, low views overall.
Yeah.
But, like, it will range between, like, 8 to 20%. But there's some outliers, like Soul and Cubed has... Rainy Day Let's Play has almost 50% female. And, so overall, male YouTube personalities have a lower female watch rate, and that female personalities like Stacey and I, or Next Estrogen, or Sithrith, we have a much higher female retention rate or audience rate, and
Woohoo!
It ranges between anywhere between 20% to 45%.
Wow.
So what I'm thinking,
because we all support each other.
Yeah, and also, bringing up Soul and Cube / Rainy Day Let's Play, he's really supportive of every demographic.
Yeah.
So, what I'm thinking is...
He's just a really good guy overall.
Yeah. It proves that women gamers do exist in numbers that are valid. Maybe not 45%, but anywhere between, let's say, 30 and 40%. Mm-hmm. Who are interested in what people would consider to be legitimate, non-casual games.
Yeah.
But I think what really draws women in is representation in what they're watching. So what I noticed also, when they want to watch something, they want to watch a woman, or they want to watch something that the main protagonist is a woman. Mm-hmm. So women seem to be more interested in RPGs where being a woman is an option, like Mass Effect or Skyrim. Or the personality is a woman. So that proves a lot of different things, like women exist. First of all. Second, that
Yay!
There is an opportunity for the market growth to go into women, because if you give them a chance to be interested, they will. And also that female YouTube personalities are not gaining popularity because of male sexual interest in them, but rather female interest in them in terms of relatability. Mm-hmm. So these are the things that I've noticed. Nothing is solid or concrete yet, but I'm going to be trying to put together some sort of article that analyzes all of this, so cool.
I think that and another thing that it's important to point out is that, yes, this is saying that the portion of female viewership is probably the same as the proportion of female gamers, because it is less likely that somebody is going to be watching Let's Plays on YouTube if they are not themselves a gamer.
Or at least interested in those
Or at least interested in pretty invested in watching games, because I just can't, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I really can't imagine a whole group of people being like, hey, I don't play video games and have no interest in them. I'm going to go watch Let's Plays because I find them so entertaining.
Yeah, you have to have at least some sort of interest in what you're
exactly.
looking at.
Yeah.
So,
and I know that you and I are pretty awesome and hilarious, but I doubt that the people who watch our videos are watching it just for us.
I know. I tried to show this to my mom, and she was like, "You guys are funny, but I don't care. I don't care about what you're playing." She was laughing at what we said, but she didn't care about what we were talking about. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I've tried to say that to people who are like, hey, let me check out that thing that you've been working on. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how interesting you'll find it.
You know what? The only thing that they'd probably find interesting is the Walking Dead series, because that's pretty much a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any news?
That was the console stuff was my news.
So we got some viewer questions. They're all pretty much silly.
Good.
That Classy Cyberpunk says, were you disappointed by the lack of giraffes in Thief? Now that you bring it up, I am. I didn't know that I was missing out on giraffes, but now I feel like I'm missing out.
Honestly, they've been doing that whole series has been doing a pretty poor job of including a little more diversity in its, in their characters.
Yeah, I feel like a giraffe character would have really added something.
Yeah, the lack of giraffes in that, in that series, it just shows that they have a lack of diversity on their writing staff.
Just to point out that in Thief, they are lacking in any sort of character of anything, but it's so non-existent that I don't care. Like, you know how, like, if you try a little bit, it's more insulting than if you don't try at all?
Yeah, I do.
The story in Thief, I'm like, whatever. Say more cool shit, Garrett. Like,
yeah, Garrett, can you just, like, keep talking?
Because that's pretty cool.
Because we like that.
Because the story, I'm like, okay, that's a stupid story, but the setting's cool, so.
Yeah.
Alex, Nikolala, asks.
Nick Lolioff?
Yeah. Have you ever a sausage? Which is his general input for most things.
Yeah, that's all he talks about.
Does he just like the food sausage?
Is he British? Because I could just picture him being like, hello, sausage.
I wonder what the thing, like, it's always a mystery because I ask him about it and he's just like, sausage. And I'm like, tell me. Tell me.
Tell me what it means.
What does it mean? Just imagine me staring at a sausage like, what does it mean?
What does it mean? It's like I want to just come up with a bunch of different names of sausages and just, like, throw them at him. Just be like, so, have you had any kielbasa lately?
There's nothing I can say that's clever back because it's just sausage every time. I always like to respond to people's comments, and so then whenever he says sausage every time, I'm like, okay.
You just have to picture that's his Hodor word.
Oh, sausage.
Sausage.
Hodor. Okay.
So just respond in kind, and he'll understand you.
Ah.
Sausage, sausage, sausage.
I Heart Pie Gaming says, do you want to build a snowman? Which is that song from Frozen. Everybody loves Frozen. You need to watch Frozen, Stacy.
Okay, I was originally really insulted by that question because I thought he was mocking the epic dumpings of snow we have been getting in our neck of the woods, literally.
Did you see that and you just go, excuse me?
He's like, do you want to build a snowman? And I was like, oh, that little fucker. It is mid-March.
It's mid-March and there's 3 feet of snow outside.
It warmed up to like 50 degrees for one day, and then the next morning there was like...
It was a tease.
There was like 6 inches of snow on the ground the next morning. I was like, you're fucking kidding. You know what? I'm not even surprised anymore.
I was like, but when the warmth happened, I was like, you can't trust this, Mari. Don't trust them.
Don't trust it.
Don't trust
it, Mari.
Don't believe it. No, he's asking about the song from Frozen.
Oh. I haven't seen this.
Let it go. I can't sing. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. No, keep going.
No.
Great. No, this is great stuff.
Nearly a Ninja asks, what is your favorite fruit and how would you use it to seduce Garrus, enslave the underpants gnomes, and enslave the universe? I pick that one spiky fruit I got at the store one time, and I didn't know what it was called. It was pink, it was green and spiky, and it was...
Yeah, I remember that, and you asked me what it was, and I had no idea.
I was like, I got this at the store, and I just assumed Stacy would know, because she knows, like, everything.
I think it is rambutan.
See? Stacy just knows.
But there's like a lot of different spiky fruits. I don't know.
I picked that fruit because it's a mystery, and if any fruit could surprise me, that
was the one that was green on the inside, right?
Yeah, no, I don't. It was strange. It was a very strange fruit.
No, it's not rambutan. It is. African cucumber. It was like a yellowish, right?
Yeah, it was like orangish, yellowish, and spiky, and then you cut it open and it was green.
Yeah, that's an African cucumber, native to the Kalahari Desert.
That sounds very useful.
Yep. So it's basically a melon with horns.
Yeah. Well,
reminiscent of bananas, limes, passion fruit, and cucumber. It is often used for decorating food, but also in smoothies and sundaes.
Wait, how is it reminiscent of both bananas and those other fruits? You can't be both. They're very different.
Bananas, possibly because of the taste, or maybe because of the... You know what? I don't know, like, why we're spending so much time talking about this fruit. But... Bananas, maybe just because of the nutrients, and then cucumber because of the seeds.
We're never going to figure it out. It's a mystery.
No, we know.
It's too late.
Too late.
Is that it? You got anything else?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. All right. Bye.
Bye.